The most dangerous place to spend your life is a building that pays you just enough to keep you showing up, but never enough to help you walk away. Many people work 40 hours a week for 40 years. They do everything right. They get degrees, they get promotions, they get a nice car, they get a big house, and still they feel stuck. I have sat in rooms with very smart people with top schools on their resumes, people who can talk about the economy for hours, people who can build complex spreadsheets without blinking. But when you look at their real money life, the truth is hard. Many of them are broke in a quiet way, not broke like they have nothing, broke like they have payments, a huge mortgage, a car loan, credit card debt, a lifestyle that looks rich but no real assets behind it. They look successful on the outside, but they do not actually own much. That is not bad luck. It is not just the system is unfair. Something deeper is going on. When you start a job, a silent deal happens. You give your best hours, your strongest years, your energy, your focus. In return, you get a paycheck, a title, and training. But here is the part nobody says out loud. Most job training is built to make you more useful to the company, not more free as a person. They teach you how to be a better worker. They rarely teach you how to stop needing to be one. There are 7 wealth skills that separate 2 kinds of people. The first group works for money forever. The second group builds assets and systems that later work for them. These skills are not super complicated. They are not hidden in some secret vault. But you almost never see them in job training. You do not learn them in performance reviews. You do not get them in corporate workshops. And that missing education is a big reason why smart, hard-working people reach retirement with stress instead of peace. We will go through all 7 skills. We will talk about why many jobs do not teach them. We will also talk about how years of safe employment can change how your brain reacts to money and risk. Then we will rebuild those skills, step by step. This may feel uncomfortable. Some ideas may go against what you have believed for years. If that makes you mad, good. Anger can be useful when you aim it in the right direction. Before we get to the 7 skills, you need to understand why this gap exists. If you do not understand the design of the problem, you will not build the right solution. A long time ago, modern schooling was shaped to produce order. The goal was not always to create bold thinkers. The goal was often to create people who follow instructions well, people who show up on time, people who do tasks the same way every day, people who fit into large systems. And when students grow up and enter big companies, that same training continues. You are rewarded for doing what you are told. You are rewarded for hitting goals someone else picked. You are rewarded for staying in your lane. If you do it long enough, you get promoted. Your lane gets wider, your pay gets higher, and the system pulls you in even deeper. The real tragedy is not that people do not work hard. Most people work extremely hard. They give up sleep, they miss family time, they push through stress. The tragedy is that they work hard inside a structure built to take value from them, not build value for them. That structure is great at creating loyal workers. It is not great at creating owners. To be clear, having a job is not evil, and an employer is not automatically your enemy. A job can be a good start. It can be a stable base, but you must see this truth. The skills that make you a great employee can be the opposite of the skills that make you wealthy. If you never learn the difference, you may spend your whole life building someone else's dream, while your own dream stays on hold. Now let's start with the first skill. The first skill is reading a financial statement like an owner, not like a passenger. Many people in big companies never truly read a company's financials. They may see budgets, they may sit in meetings about costs, they may know what their team spends, but they do not read the full story. Owners read numbers to answer one main question: is this business creating real value, or is it slowly falling apart? There is a reason companies do not teach this deeply. If every worker could read the balance sheet and the cash flow statement with clear eyes, they would ask scary questions. They would ask why profits look fine, but cash is weak. They would ask where the extra money is going. They would compare executive rewards to worker pay and understand the deal they are in. Basic money knowledge sounds harmless, but real financial literacy gives you power. It helps you see the truth without the shiny words. Real financial literacy is not about fancy terms. It is about clear questions. You should be able to look at a business and answer 3 things fairly fast. First, does it bring in more cash than it burns? Second, does the leadership use that cash in a smart way, or do they waste it? Third, is the price you pay fair compared to what the business is truly worth? If you cannot answer these, you are not investing. You are guessing. And in the long run, guessing usually loses to patient, informed thinking. A job may give you money awareness. You learn that money matters. You learn to be careful with spending at work. But it often does not give you the skill to judge a business like a real owner. That one difference can decide whether you only earn income or you also build wealth. The second skill is handling uncertainty without falling apart. This is a big one, and it is the one regular jobs often damage the most. Think about what a paycheck does to your mind. It comes on a schedule. The amount is mostly steady. Even if you have a bad week, the check still arrives. That steady pattern tells your brain you are safe, and safety feels good, but there is a hidden cost. Over time, your brain starts to depend on that pattern. You begin to fear anything that does not look guaranteed. Now look at how real wealth is built. Starting a small business is uncertain. Investing is uncertain. A side income can take months before it pays off. Even buying a great asset can feel scary in the moment. Almost every strong wealth move comes with one uncomfortable fact. You cannot know the outcome for sure at the start. People who live on a steady paycheck for years often start to treat uncertainty like danger. Their body reacts fast. Stress rises, they freeze, or they quit too soon. But wealth building needs a different skill. It needs the ability to say, I don't know exactly how this will turn out, but the odds are good, and I can handle the risk. It means staying calm while you wait. It means not needing perfect certainty before you take a smart step. If you can learn to sit with uncertainty, you unlock a whole new world of options. If you cannot, you stay trapped in only one path, trading time for money again and again. If the word selling makes you feel awkward, pay attention. That feeling alone can keep you broke, because almost every path to real wealth needs one skill that most people avoid. Skill number 3 is selling without shame. In many workplaces, selling is treated like a low job, even though it keeps the whole company alive. The engineers may act like sales is not serious. The lawyers may act like marketing is not real work. Even in offices, there is often a quiet ranking system, and selling is near the bottom. People act like if your product is good, it should sell itself. That sounds nice, but it is not how life works. Selling is not tricking people. Selling is not pushing people. Selling is simply sharing value in a clear way, so someone understands it and wants to act. That is it. If you can do that, you become powerful in any room. When you ask for a raise, you are selling. When you explain your idea to your boss, you are selling. When you try to get customers, you are selling. When you want people to join your project, support your plan, or trust your skills, you are selling. You can call it communication if that feels better, but it is still selling. Most people do not struggle because they have no talent. They struggle because they cannot explain their value with confidence. They keep great ideas locked in their head. They do excellent work but let someone else get the credit. They take low pay because they feel guilty asking for more. They stay silent because they do not want to sound salesy. But money often goes to the person who can explain value the best, not only to the person who works the hardest. Learning to sell is not about changing who you are. It is about learning to speak clearly. It is about practicing. It is about getting comfortable hearing no and trying again. Once you can do that, you gain options, and options are freedom. That is also why many workplaces do not focus on this skill for most employees. A person who can sell can leave. A person who can sell can start something small on the side. A person who can sell can negotiate better. And a system that needs you to stay put does not love that. Skill number 4 is thinking in a Unavan way. Most people look at an opportunity and ask only one question. How much can I make? That question is exciting. It feels hopeful. It is also dangerous when it is the only question you ask. A smarter question has 2 parts. First, what is the worst case loss if this fails? Second, what is the best case gain if this works? Then you ask one more thing. How likely is each outcome? This is not being negative. This is being smart. Real wealth is often built by choices where the loss is small, but the gain can be big. That is an uneven deal in your favor. Think about it like this. If you bet $10 and the best you can win is $12, but you could lose the whole $10, that is not a great deal. But if you risk $10, and there is a fair chance you could gain $100, and you can survive if you lose the $10, that is a better kind of risk. The best investors and builders look for situations like that. They do not need to win every time. They need the wins to be much bigger than the losses. Now compare this to how most jobs work. In a job, your upside is limited. You can work twice as hard, and your pay usually does not double. You can have your best month ever, and your paycheck stays almost the same. Your downside is also limited. You may get fired, but you often have some warning, some savings, or some support. It is a very even deal. Steady input, steady output. That is fine for stability, but it is not how big wealth grows. When you spend years in a world of even deals, your mind gets trained to expect clear steps and guaranteed results. But many great opportunities in business and investing do not look clean and predictable. They look messy. They look uncertain. They can look boring. Uneven thinking helps you spot a good deal and avoid a trap. It forces you to slow down and measure risk, not just chase reward. This skill also protects you from hype. Many people get excited about something because everyone is talking about it. They only see the possible gain. They do not see how much they could lose or how likely it is. Uneven thinking brings you back to reality. It makes you ask, if I am wrong, what happens to me? If the answer is I am ruined, then it is not a smart move. If the answer is I can handle it, then you can keep exploring it. Skill number 5 is building something that can earn without your constant effort. This is where many smart people get stuck because they believe one idea so deeply they never question it. The idea is, my income must always match my time. If you work, you earn. If you stop, you earn nothing. It sounds fair. It also creates a ceiling you cannot break. Time is limited. You get 24 hours in a day. You cannot buy more hours. You cannot store hours for later. If your money only comes from your hours, your income will always hit a hard limit, even if you are talented, even if you are the best at what you do. At some point, you run out of hours, energy, and attention. Many workplaces make this trap feel normal. You are paid by the hour, the week, or the year. Even a salary is just your hours grouped together. Meetings, schedules, and performance reviews all train you to think time is the main thing you trade for money. Over years, you start to believe that is the only way. But real wealth usually comes from assets and systems. A system keeps creating value even when you are not there. A factory can run while the owner sleeps. A simple online product can sell while you eat dinner. A rental property can collect rent while you are at work. A strong business can earn because it has a team, a process, and customers who keep coming back. A good investment can grow while you are living your life. This does not mean you must build a huge company. It starts much smaller than people think. It can start with one skill you can teach, packaged in a simple way. It can start with a small service that you slowly turn into a process. It can start with buying small pieces of great businesses through long-term investing. The key point is the same. You must begin building something that is not tied to your next hour. Here is a simple question that can change your direction. What am I building that will still help me 5 years from now, even if I take a week off? If the answer is nothing, that is not an insult. It is a wake-up call, because it means you are only earning, not building. You are collecting income, but you are not creating an engine. Selling without shame gives you the power to move people. Uneven thinking gives you the power to pick smart risks. Building systems gives you the power to break the time for money ceiling. These 3 skills work together. And once you start practicing them, you stop feeling trapped by the next paycheck. The next skill sounds boring, but it is one of the biggest reasons some people get rich and others stay stressed. Skill number 6 is strategic patience. This is not doing nothing. This is waiting on purpose while your plan grows. The strongest force in money is compounding. It is when small gains stack on top of each other again and again until the growth becomes huge. Most people say they understand this. They have seen the charts. They have heard the examples. But they do not feel it deep enough to act on it. Here is the hard truth. Big results usually come late, not early. A lot of wealth is built after many years of slow progress. Many people quit right before the curve starts to rise. They save for a while, then stop. They invest for a while, then panic. They build a skill, then get bored. They start a side project, then drop it because it is not paying fast enough. They are not lazy. They are trained to expect quick proof. Most jobs train you to think in short cycles. You get reviewed each year. You chase monthly targets. You hear about quarterly results. You get bonuses based on short time windows. You learn to measure your value by what you can show right now. So your brain starts to live in short time. You begin to feel like anything that takes years is too slow. But assets do not care about your deadlines. Great businesses and smart investments often look boring at first. Sometimes they even look wrong for a while. The price may drop. The progress may be quiet. The results may be invisible. Patience means you do not mistake slow for bad. Patience means you keep going when the reward is not clapping for you yet. Strategic patience also protects you from emotional mistakes. When markets go up fast, people rush in because they feel left out. When markets fall, people rush out because they feel fear. Both moves are often the opposite of what makes sense. Fear makes you sell low, hype makes you buy high. Patience helps you hold steady. It helps you stay focused on value instead of noise. Real patience has a plan behind it. It is not blind hope. It is the ability to say, I know what I own, I know why I bought it, and I can wait. It is also the ability to be okay with being boring. A patient person is not trying to impress anyone this week. They are trying to build a better life over decades. A simple idea can help here. Every time you jump from one hot thing to another, you pay a price. Sometimes it is taxes. Sometimes it is fees. Sometimes it is the risk of being wrong again. Constant switching feels active, but it often leaks money. Holding a strong asset for a long time is not lazy. Many times, it is the smartest move you can make. Now we reach the final skill. This one is the most dangerous to lose. Skill number 7 is protecting your mind from the crowd. In other words, learning to think for yourself. In a large workplace, independent thinking can slowly fade. At first, you have your own opinions. You notice problems. You have ideas. You speak up. But then you learn a lesson. Disagreeing has a cost. You might get labeled difficult. You might get left out. You might be ignored. So you adapt. You start reading the room before you speak. You wait to see what the boss thinks. You match your words to the group. Over time, you may not even notice it happening, but your real opinion gets quieter. This is not because you are weak. It is because you are human. People are built to fit in. Long ago, being rejected by the group could mean danger. So our brains hate social risk. We want approval. We want to belong. And big systems know how to use that. But in money and investing, the crowd often gets things wrong at the biggest moments. When everyone is sure something will go up forever, that is usually when risk is highest. When everyone is sure something is dead, that is often when value is hiding. Big bubbles are not created by one person. They are created by millions of people agreeing at the same time. And when everyone agrees, prices can move far away from reality. To do better than average, you cannot always follow average thinking. That does not mean you must be different just to be different. It means you must be willing to stand alone when your facts and logic tell you the crowd is confused. That can feel painful. People may laugh. People may call you outdated. People may say you don't get it. The crowd is loud and it loves confidence, even when it is wrong. So what protects you? You need an inner scorecard. That means you judge yourself by your own standards, not by applause. You do not need everyone to agree before you act. You do not need social proof to feel safe. You do the work. You study, you think, you decide, and then you live with your decision without needing constant approval. This is hard after years of being trained to seek outside validation. A lot of people are not just scared of losing money. They are scared of looking foolish. That fear pushes them to copy the crowd. Because if everyone loses together, it feels less embarrassing. But losing with the crowd still hurts your life. Now, knowing these 7 skills is not the same as owning them. You can hear them, like them, even agree with them, and still live the same way tomorrow. That gap is where most people stay. Not because they are dumb, but because these skills require discomfort. Uncertainty is uncomfortable. Selling feels uncomfortable at first. Waiting feels uncomfortable. Thinking alone feels uncomfortable. Building something that takes time feels uncomfortable. And most people have spent their whole adult life in systems that reward comfort and punish risk. School rewarded fast answers. Jobs reward fitting in. Social media rewards flashy results. Real wealth often grows in quiet, slow ways that nobody claps for. So if you want freedom, you must train yourself for a different game. The good news is that you can retrain your brain. Habits are learned, and learned habits can be replaced. You do not need a genius IQ. You need practice. You need reps, small actions repeated over time. Pick one skill that hits you the hardest right now. If money numbers confuse you, start with reading basic financial statements and learning what they really mean. If you panic when income is not guaranteed, practice small risks you can survive. If you hate selling, practice explaining value in simple words every week. If you chase hype, practice uneven thinking by writing down your worst-case loss before you act. If all your money depends on your hours, start building one small asset or system on the side. If you always quit early, practice patience by committing to a longer timeline. If you always follow the crowd, practice forming your own opinion before you check what others think. Keep the stakes small at first. You are not trying to be perfect. You are trying to build muscle. The goal is to become the kind of person who can do these things naturally. Now think about your future for a moment. Picture yourself very old, sitting somewhere quiet. You look back at your working life, all the meetings, the emails, the targets, the stress, the promotions, the busy days that felt important at the time. Then you ask one simple question. What did I actually build? Not just what did I earn, not what did I buy. What did I build that can stand without me? What did I own that gave me choices? What did I learn that made me free? These 7 skills are not just money skills. They are freedom skills, clear thinking, calm under uncertainty, the courage to speak value, smart risk judgment, building systems, long patience, strong independent thought. Many workplaces do not teach these skills because workplaces do not need you to be free. They need you to be useful and consistent. But your life is not owned by a workplace. It is owned by you. And the moment you start practicing these skills, you stop living only for the next paycheck. You start building a life with options. You start building a life where time becomes yours again.